Okay, welcome to day 2 of our Accountants Mentorship with yours, Samuel Ivanda. If you followed through yesterday's session, we went through several kind of things, and today we are building on from the same conversation as of yesterday. I hope you're well. So building on from the conversation of yesterday, like I've indicated, make sure that in case you have any question, use the chat box. Yeah, in case you're watching a replay of this, maybe you could be able to share with me your questions as well to help me tailor any future conversations with you. Okay, so like earlier indicated, yesterday we were trying to look more at how we can have a winning CV. And one of the things that we clearly indicated was the issue around our personal profile. Of course, we have different other areas that we didn't look at, but you should be able to you should be able to pick ideas from whatever we discussed. Okay, now I just want to pick on a little from what we discussed yesterday. Now, in addition to your personal profile, one of the things that you should be looking at is, of course, after your personal profile, what you should be looking at is definitely, of course, your experience, your job experience, okay? And this, it's very good for you to name it as experience, okay? Don't, some people call it work experience. Some people may call it, let's say, maybe work experience or job experience, but call it experience. The reason why we call it experience is that these days there are what we call online CV evaluation systems, okay? We have online CV evaluation systems. So when you input your CV or when you apply and the person who is recruiting is trying to sieve out which people have the right experience and which people have the right, maybe the right qualifications and education background, then you have some challenges in there. So make sure that you're using the right writings, okay? And the notion of whatever you including there. One of the other things that you should also have in mind, especially when it comes to your CV, when you come to your experience, make sure that you front your achievements, okay? Now, in most cases, we want to go ahead to include the job description, and mostly we do copy and paste, okay? Now, when you do copy and paste of your job description from the work that you're doing, the other party, the other side will just think you're either lazy, and also one of the things that we understand as people that are recruiting is that anyone can just copy and put, even for job descriptions that you're not doing. But when you put achievements, instead of focusing more of the job description detail, then the other party is able to understand more of what you've been able to achieve in your previous job. Okay, do other people hear me? Can anyone hear me? Can somebody confirm there's somebody who cannot hear us? Okay, Maureen says can hear. Colson, you may try to press on your audio sound. You can get off and come back and press on, click on audio. There's a green button if you're using the phone to be able to give you the audio of the phone and you'll be able to hear. This could be that could be the issue. Okay. So I was trying to indicate, Maureen had allowed us to use her CV right here. So what I was trying to say that make sure that you use mainly the word experience. Okay, the word work experience will confuse the system when the system is trying to sieve out some of the information from your CV. There is a certain website that I want to share with you that I usually use to evaluate my CV. I think I will share it with you. I actually happen to upload Maureen's CV in this. Now, of course, the word CV is also resume. Resume is I think it's an American word. Now, there are things that you should be looking at also. Okay. Now, some of you go ahead to get your CVs and you add your academic documents in the CV. Okay. And that file becomes heavy. And here we're speaking about the online, the CVs that you share. You know, these days organizations don't get that CV and have to look through manually. Most of them have adopted systems that are able to help them shortlist. Okay. And what these systems do is they have different things that they look out for. Okay. But even before they look out for, these systems also have given sizes of data that they can capture. And that is why you see, I think some people, when they are asking you to share your CVs, they go ahead to tell you that it shouldn't exceed, let's say, maybe 2 megabytes. Okay. And that is one of the reasons why they go ahead to include such clauses. Okay. I think you can see, for example, the common file size limit for website uploads is 2 MBs. So for example, for Maureen, her file size was really okay. The CV was okay in terms of a size, but some people go ahead to include their they include maybe scanned photos of their academic documents in the CV. Now, unless the job has required you, the job application has required you to upload or to include your academic documents, don't include these unless these are asked. If somebody has asked for your CV and has asked for your cover letter, please include only those two. Okay, include only those two. Then at later stage of the interview process, they will be able to ask for more information. Okay. Yeah. So of course, also every time somebody asks for your CV, make sure you turn it in PDF. Some of you shared with me your CVs and they were in Word. Now, what happens with CVs in Word is that they get distorted based on the version of the softwares the person who has received your CV is using. Okay. So you need to make sure that your CV is saved in PDF before you share it with any other person. Okay. So that is very important for us to understand. I'll just show you Maureen's here. I think you can see the word ETC for Maureen came this side. OYAM will still show it has a red. Now, all these things, when somebody looks at this CV and looks at these reds and looks at the way it is, sometimes, okay, now for example, Maureen's, it's a bit okay. It's not that distorted, but some CVs you find that this word is starting from this side. So you should make sure that for every time you're sharing your CV with anyone, if you're using a computer, you should just go to save as, maybe save the document, maybe you're saving it under documents, and look, drop down the list and save it as PDF. Okay, save it as PDF. And also, when you're sharing your CV with somebody, okay, when you're sharing your CV with somebody, the naming matters. Okay, the naming matters. Don't just save your CV with just the word curriculum VT. Okay, remember, this person whom you're sending to this CV has several kind of CVs that they are going to receive. So for you to increase your chances, when you just name it CV, it means that even when they are looking, maybe they have already saved these CVs somewhere. If they want to get, if they just remember maybe Samuel's CV, they will have to struggle through to look for your CV. Okay, so that's why it is good to, it's a good practice to save your CV with your first and last name. Okay, and say maybe Samuel Ibanda's curriculum VT. Are we together? Samuel Ibanda's curriculum VT. That allows you to make sure that somebody can easily trace your CV, okay? And it can be traced easily. So that is why you see when it came to, when I was trying to use this system checkup, because Maureen had saved this as curriculum VT, the system here was even saying it that the resume file name curriculum VT doesn't contain your first and last name. It's a good practice for you to have your first and last name in the name of your resume. Okay, you can see it's important for you to make sure that that is very clear. So it is something that I wanted to also put forward for you. So let's save our, now this one, this is Maureen Achola. So I'll save it as Maureen Achola's curriculum vitae. Okay, so you see, this is how it will look like in Excel. It seems to be look totally different. I can share with you how it looks like in Excel. So this is how it looks like in Excel. It looks more professional, okay, and looks a little more organized than when it is in Word document. Okay, and also saving it in Excel means that, of course, you're locking any edits that somebody might want to edit your CV along the way. Okay, maybe to say you didn't have the right experience. So I've said that when it comes to work experience, make sure that you front your achievements. Now, for example, for Maureen, I would want to see us have some of the achievements that you've been able to achieve from your current role, okay? I would love to be able to see those. For example, you're saying yours is evaluating expense vouchers, invoices, and bills before authorization of payment. Then you have producing of monthly reconciliations. If you've been able to, let's say, maybe improve on the monthly reconciliations, maybe you joined when there was an under reconciled amount of over maybe 10 million shillings or 20 million shillings, and through your reconciliation process, you've been able to improve this, then go ahead to include it there, so that the person who is looking at your CV is seeing you as somebody who is who understands the work that you're going to do. When you're also writing your job experience, especially here, also have in mind the job description for the job that you're applying for. Now, if you've applied for a job and you believe you've been doing the work that the job requires, make sure that at least five, okay? At least 5 job responsibilities that in the job that is being advertised should appear first before you look at any other. Okay? Should appear first before you add any other job responsibilities. That is very clearly. And then also, in case you also have any achievements in your current job that is a bit similar to the job that you're applying for, make sure that that also comes first. Okay? So what you can do, you can break down, you can have achievements, and then you can have other responsibilities. Okay? You can have your achievements and have other responsibilities. I hope that is clear. Okay? Then it's also sometimes it's good for you to give a summary of your job, and before you come to the achievements and responsibilities. Okay, just a summary. Maybe as a branch manager, you take oversight of the day-to-day branch operations, maybe under the supervision of the branch manager. Okay, so you try to give a summary of what you do. Okay, I think like the way you saw yesterday on when I was sharing my LinkedIn, I'll show you how I usually write my summaries using my LinkedIn account. So for example, let me use this. For example, this is the summary of my job as a finance manager. So as a finance manager for Eastern Region, I led the team of accountants and I was responsible for the overall accounting functions of Eastern Region office with several funding portfolios from USAID, SIDA, NORAD, Italy, Korean. Of course, also ensured efficient and effective management of Save the Children's cash flows, updating and reconciling of accounting ledgers, managing end of period procedures, and ensuring generation of accurate, timely monthly financial reports to country office, as well as technical supervision of the regional accountants. So that is just like a summary, okay? And then my current role, leading the Save the Children Uganda Partnership Finance team, I ensure a high quality, harmonized operating and financial accountability approach to all SCI's Uganda's partnerships. I'm responsible for adequate financial reviews, operating partner assessments, relevant and effective capacity development with a focus on internal finance controls and compliance for all partners. Okay, my role covers over 30 partner organizations that work with Save the Children under these different projects, like that. So that is the summary. So that is the same summary that you should include, because sometimes definitely this person who is even interested to can be eye-catched by at least the summary, okay? And then you add your achievements and then add your other responsibilities, okay? Yeah, but all, as you write, whatever you write here, make sure you have in mind the job that is being advertised for, okay? Because that will help you. You're basically tailoring your CV to the job that was advertised. Like I said, you shouldn't have the same CV for for all the jobs. Make sure that every time you applying for another job, you totally have a different CV. Okay, you totally have a different CV, and what that means, you're tailoring your CV to the job that has been advertised. Are we together? So that is something important that you should have in mind. Yeah. And then I also said, in case you have any experience that you think is not relevant to the job that you're applying for, make sure that you leave it out. even some, if you have some responsibilities that are not relevant to the job, okay? In your mind, they are not relevant to the job. Those you may not have, you don't want to crowd your CV with a lot of such informations, okay? Yeah. Now, one of the things that I also don't see here are skills, okay? Make sure you have a field for skills, and that's the same thing that even what the system said when I tried to evaluate this CV using the system. Let me just show you what the system said right here. It says your resume was either too short or you're using unpopular format. Saying ATS you're relevant, consider you relevant or skilled candidate. Consider switching a different template or add more information about your skills and experience, okay? So, for example, these were the skills that were detected in her CV, okay? Now, you have to make sure that your CV has more skills that can be detected. And you see why those are being detected? Just show you. It's because they are picking them from they're picking them from what she has written here. This is this. Okay. So she has, I think you can see she has put accounting, she has put check transactions. Now, these are not skills, okay? You see, accounting is broad. Accounting is the work that you're doing. Even when it comes to petty cash, bank reconciliation, general ledger are all an accounting. So accounting is generic in nature, okay? Accounting is generic in nature. So make sure that the skills that you include here are skills that matches rightly, because you see what the system was able to pick up. The system was able to pick up general ledger, risk assessment, teamwork, okay? And it tells you that having skills throughout your resume, in your summary, remember in your summary, in your personal profile, which is also called the summary, then they're also saying you should also have it maybe in job bullet points, and then maybe also holding it as a separate section. Comes as an integral part of targeting your resume to the job description. Okay, so now when I was trying to do upload this, it was trying to match it with just a dummy position. Okay, so depending on the job. Now, for example, like the job we looked at yesterday, I think we looked at that was a finance manager job. It was a finance manager job. Let me just try to include. So we have another job here that I want to look at. Now, do you see this last part? Like I told you, these are the skills. So yours is to make sure that these skills, if this is the job that you're applying for, this is a partnership finance compliance officer. If this is the job that you're applying for, make sure that these skills are seen in your CV, okay? These skills are seen in your CV. Presentation and training skills, strong communication, okay? excellent interpersonal skills, and so on. Those should be seen in your CV, okay? So I hope you understand that. So the system will be able to now, when the system is evaluating your CV, to be able, and you see all these things, you see every time they tell you that apply for a job online, and you're applying it through a system, you're not applying through, let's say, sending a CV, maybe, and your cover letter through email. Of course, even those that are sent through email, there are also some people, some recruiters go ahead to upload them in systems to help them evaluate them. Okay, so make sure that you're doing the right kind of the right kind of information within your CV. Okay. Yeah. You know, with the technology, you can also, since you have a LinkedIn account, you can also be able to include a LinkedIn link in the on your CV these days, in case the employer wants to know more about your information. Even the systems have been built in a way that they can easily pick up a LinkedIn account. At least you can have a LinkedIn account. Few people might have a website, but at least you can have a LinkedIn account. Okay, so that is important. Usually references, most people will call you for references. Okay, unless they include it in the email, that in the advert that include references, then you may not need to crowd your CV with all this kind of information. Okay, yeah. So that is important for you. So I wanted to try to highlight something more about CVs. So with that information, please refine your CV, and I'll be looking at them. You'll be able to share, and then I'll be able to give you some of the comments. Okay. Yeah, I'll be able to give you some of the comments. So you'll be able to share with me. You can share with me on WhatsApp independently if you feel you don't want to share it publicly. Okay. Yeah. Now, I want to leave CVs alone for now. Now, I want to comment more around interviews. Okay. And now, if you've applied for a job and you've been invited to do the interview, there are things that you should be doing before the interview, during the interview, and also maybe after the interview. Okay. Now, if you're invited for an interview, one, go back to your CV, the CV you used to apply for this job. That is the first thing, because they use the CV to invite you for the interview. So anything you included in the CV is something that you should be aware of. Some people include things in the CVs, and when it gets to interviews, they can't remember. Remember, the people who are interviewing you have these CVs in their hands, or they have already gone through your CVs. Okay, so it's important for you to know what you included in your CV. The other is, go read more about the organization. Okay, the organization that you're going for an interview for is very, very critical. Whatever response you give, make sure that you have the organization in mind. Okay, you can't be speaking about let's say maybe alcohol if you're doing an interview for maybe a Christian organization. Okay, you have to be able to relate information. Like, for example, yesterday we were trying to look at, for example, dwelling places. If I was going for an interview for dwelling places, I know that whatever information I'm going to be speaking needs to align to dwelling place as an organization that is creating a place for children to rest to have a chest on to rest, but as well as also making sure that every child has a home. So even in the interview, during the interview, I want to make sure that they are aware that I'm a person who's passionate about what the work that they are doing. Okay, that is very, very important. Okay, it's very important. The other thing is look at the job description. Going back to the job advert and look at the job description. Look at the job summary. Look at the requirements as well. Relook at them. Okay, because when it comes to when it's going to come to the interview, there are critical questions that they are going to ask you. Okay, there are critical questions that they are going to ask you that you need to make sure that you're well informed about them. Okay, and then also practice. This is before, practice as much as possible. And some of the practice areas should be around things like, tell us about yourself. Have a notebook where you've noted these things and try it at least 3 times. Be in an environment where you can try it yourself before even, because that is a question that you'll be asked. So instead of, let's say, going to, let's say, maybe waiting for you to go for the interview and you ask such a question and you have no response to it, practice. Use the job description, use your experience, use your qualifications, use your skills to be able to craft the message, because that is what they are looking for. Like I said, the first introductory question of tell us about yourself is eye-catching, is a beginning ground for you to either take the job or not take the job. Okay, so it's very important for you to have that in mind when you're crafting whatever preparation you're doing for any interview. Okay, so that is very important. So one of the other things that you also need to know is try to get, if you can access somebody who has been part of, let's say, that organization, who or is already part of the organization, make sure you reach out to them and ask them about the organization. Okay, tell them, my name is so and so. I've actually been called for an interview with this organization. Ask about critical things that you may want to know about the organization. I know some of you want to ask about the salary ranges. Yes, if you're close to somebody, they can be able to give you an idea, so that when you ask questions like how much can we pay you, then you're in much good position. Okay, so that is what you do before the interview. Okay, that is standard. Make sure you take a lot of time. If you're moving from one industry to the other, maybe you're moving from, let's say, private sector, and you've been invited for an interview in the NGO world, make sure you sit down and understand how NGOs work. Okay, make sure you go and read more information about how NGOs work, things to do with grants management, things to do with programming, okay, things to do with donor management and so on. Make sure you understand, so that when you get to the interview, the conversation you're bringing forward, the language that you're using, you're not going for an interview for NGO and you're going to speak about the profit or loss, because NGOs don't have profit or loss. They either have a surplus or have a deficit. Okay, so that is very important for you. It's very, very important for you to know more about the organization in terms of what it does, but also the industry it is in. Know about, if you're going to the private sector, maybe to like the telecom, know about the taxes that are related to such an industry. Okay, because as an accountant, generically, you should know the tax system. You should know the latest tax amendments. Like, for example, we just started the financial year and you're going for an accountant's interview. Know the latest accounting standards. Know the latest accounting standards, and also make sure that you know the latest tax amendments. Those are very important, and also any other developments that have happened in the industry. Okay, if you're going for an interview in the banking industry, you should try to find out what has exactly happened in the last few months in the banking industry. And that is why you need to be informed, okay? You can even Google some of this kind of information. You need to be informed because interviews will rotate around there, okay? Yeah, something, it's good for you to understand more. Now, so when you now get to the day of the interview, I will still repeat it like I did yesterday. Make sure that you reach to the interview venue very early, at least 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes. Now, by 30 minutes, I mean, make sure that when you reach, it helps you study the environment. Sometimes even when you reach the reception, there are some books on the reception there that you can read more about the organization. You're able to get your phone, try to do some Googling here and there. You're able to interact with people. Sometimes even the people that are going to interview you will find you at the reception and be able to greet you, okay? So you're able to build a rapport before you even get to the interview, okay? I remember one of my jobs, I found the person who was going to part of the panel. I found them in a lift as I was going because they were just arriving and had arrived a little earlier. So they were also arriving at the same time. So I found them in a lift. So I really didn't know that this was somebody who was going to be part of the people that were going to interview me. So I created a report. I greeted them. I asked how their day was, okay? And later on, I would find the same lady as part of the interview panel, okay? So that helps you to create, and also to give you a time to breathe, okay? Know when you're coming and you know you're 10 minutes late for the interview, it really depicts a lot about your time management skills, but also there are organizations that if you're late by given minutes, you will not be allowed in. I know sometimes you invited for interviews and you're left to wait for a long period of time, but that should not make you feel like, okay, if I'm invited for the interview at 10, they may go at 10:30 because in most cases I'll do the interview at, for example, at 11. Make sure that you're a time manager, okay? Now, when you reach there, you know, some places even have cameras, okay? Now, make sure that if there are other people that you found who are going for this interview or other staff of the organization that are maybe moving around, be ready to say hi to them. Even your fellow people that are going to be interviewed, have conversations with them. Talk to them, okay? Say, oh, you've also come for this interview. Let them be able to share with you what they think and so on. Have the conversation, build a team spirit. If somebody has seen you in that conversation and maybe they are part of the panel, then you relate with people. But if they have looked around and saw you and they're seeing everyone is on their own, then sometimes they are worried, because in every organization, teamwork is a must, is a plus for everyone, okay? So it's important for you to have that in mind. So during that time, as you're waiting, make sure you're getting yourself maybe trying to read around here. If there's any material that you can read, some places even have those frames of where you can see, let's say, the vision, the mission of the organization, and so on. Okay, so you're able to rehearse some of the things that you will be able to present to the interview. Okay, very important for you. And also make sure that now, in most cases, some organizations, once you're invited for the interview, make sure that you have your academic documents. Either they have asked you to come with them or not, make sure you have them. And also, the way you hold them also matters. Some of you hold these documents in all the envelopes, okay? You will forgive me. You hold them in all the envelopes. Make sure at least that day you buy a new envelope. Or not even a new envelope. Make sure that you buy, let's say, there are some document files. Make sure you have a simple document file, because you're going to enter into the interview panel. They're going to ask where are your documents, and they're going to see you picking them from an old envelope, and that alone will portray something to you, okay? Because this is your information, and it should be represented very well, okay? So that is one thing that you also need to have in mind. One of the other things that I don't want to forget, and this is not about interviews, something that I've just remembered, I want to indicate to you so I don't forget it. Now, even before, this is at application level. When you see a job today, okay? When you see a job today that is being advertised, never, never, never wait for the deadline to apply for the job, okay? Never, never, never wait for the deadline to apply for the job, because anything can happen at the application stage, okay? Anything can happen at the application stage. So make sure that you apply for the job as fast as possible. So back to the interviews. So once you now are invited, now even before you're invited, sometimes there are delays. So your interview is at 10. I want to tell you that for all the interviews that I've done in my life, I think there are very many I can't count. All of them nearly, I've not done the interview at the time that I was called. And that is how things can be. So don't be frustrated because they are not inviting you. And that is why even when you're going for an interview and you're employed, make sure you take leave so that you don't just say, I'm going for lunch and you're going for an interview. Make sure that you can create some time that gives you breathing space. I usually avoid phones. I make sure the phone is in silence so I don't have to, I call anyone after the whole interview. Remember, the interview is like an exam that you're going for, okay? So you have to make sure that you're much focused, your mind is relaxed, you have no much worry. And of course, also make sure that you build your confidence from outside, okay? So that by the time you enter the interview, you have the confidence. The people you're going to face, you're going to face them with the confidence, okay? When you enter the interview room like this, create eye contact with people. Don't be a person who is going to look down because you don't want to be seen. Create eye contact with them. Look around and see the people that are going to interview you, okay? And definitely they say, come in. If they don't greet you first, please greet them. If it's afternoon, say good afternoon, okay? If they greet you, please respond accordingly. And the other thing is don't sit before you're told to sit, okay? Even if you find a seat there, don't sit before you're told to sit, okay? So, and definitely will give you a seat and you'll be able to sit. Now, once you sit, take a deep breath and be ready to now to face the questions. Like I said, you already know some of the questions that they are going to ask you, okay? The question of tell us about yourself is a question that is going to be asked to you. So you have to make sure that you have that in mind, okay? And you've practiced already. So if you've practiced already, then why should you be worried? Why should you be scared, okay? So, of course, if it's an accounting role, there are other things, there are other questions that you may need to expect, okay? Now, not so much, let's say, directly to accounting, but also other professions. One of the things that they'll always ask you sometimes, they can ask you, for example, a question and say, maybe describe one of your biggest challenges that you came across, or and also how did you overcome it, like any challenge that you had at the workplace. Now, make sure that you reflect on these questions. Like when you're going for an interview, make sure that you reflect on some of these questions earlier on, okay? Make sure that you are responding to the questions even before you go to the interview. So you have some responses that you've already prepared, okay? So somebody says that, please respond to the question of tell us about yourself. I gave a sample yesterday, so make sure that you watch the yesterday's session in full. You'll be able to get that answer, okay? Yeah. Like I told you, they'll ask you things to do with recent changes in accounting. For example, if there are new standards, they'll ask you about that. They will also ask you things to do with recent tax changes. Like I told you, any amendments that might come around. So make sure that you go with responses prepared for those questions, okay? Yeah, of course, they can also ask you about your strengths and weaknesses. At least have something in mind, okay, that you can go with, and so on. You can be able to even get some of these interview questions by you just trying to Google and say accountants interview questions. You should be able to get them. But also from the job description, you should be able to look around and see what are some of the things that they will be asking for, okay? In most cases, the interview will also be trying to test your skills, okay? It will be trying to test your skills. For example, as you can see, this job had this kind of skills of strong analytical communication, presentation, interpersonal, and so on. So they will be trying to test this. And that's why you see, even when it comes, for example, interpersonal skills, you get to a point in time where somebody want to challenge you and frustrate you within the interview. But all they are trying to do is trying to find out, can you accommodate people of different kinds, okay? And I want to tell you that at the end of the day, if you're a person who is who has emotional intelligence, okay, then you know very well that any kind of person, any kind of reaction can be managed professionally, okay? So it's very important to also have that in mind. And of course, some of the questions for the interview come from your CV. Some will say, I've looked at your CV here. You indicated that you were able to achieve this. You were able to help the organization improve on its asset management system. Tell us about more of what you exactly did, okay? And you'll be able to go through everything. So as I think you can see, it's important for you to have an idea of what is on your CV, what is in the job description, and also understand about the organization, okay? Anything in the job responsibilities here can be asked. That is why if there's anything in the job description that you don't understand, before the interview, go find out. If another person is doing it, like for example, I'm an accountant who is already practicing, and you've seen something, for example, here, they said, present partner performance updates to program grants monitoring team during monthly program meetings. Get somebody and ask them about this and say, what do they mean by this role and responsibility, okay? There you're able to be helped to understand some of these things, okay? So it's very important for you to know every item that is right there, okay? Now, during interviews, demonstrate that you're confident, demonstrate that you're knowledgeable, make sure that you at least give an idea to every question, okay? Unless a question is very technical that you don't understand it, but make sure that you at least give an idea to any question. You can say, I think this should be like this, okay? If there's anything that I've asked you that you've not been doing, make sure you say, okay, honestly, I've not been doing this, but I believe that I'm a person who is quick at learning and I'm also trainable, okay? I believe that if I'm given the opportunity, this is something that I'll be able to train within the organization and maybe also be able to find other learning resources outside to boost my skills, okay? So there you've beaten them. They are like, they know this person can do what? Is also open to improvement, okay? Even if they don't have a skill. Every time they ask you about your weaknesses, okay? Now, if there's if they make sure that you give a weakness that is not related to the job, okay? make sure that you're giving a weakness that is not related to the job. Because just know if, for example, one of the key requirement in the job that we've just seen is interpersonal skills. You cannot say that I get hard times working with other people. That alone will put you off. Okay, make sure that you bring something and say maybe let's say I like let's say maybe I'm an introvert. Okay, but also whatever weakness you provide, make sure that you also supplement it with how are you overcoming the weakness, or what are you doing about your weakness. Okay, and never say that I don't have any weakness. Never say that you don't have. Everyone has a weakness, but yours should to be, even with this weakness, I've taken this training to help me with this weakness. I've been able to get an accountability partner. I've been able to try this out at the workplace and be able to get feedback, and I'm improving on it. Okay, everyone would love to hear that you're working on your weaknesses. Okay, that is very, very important. So there are many things that may come around with interviews, but I hope that gives you a perception. One of the things that also you should have in mind is that they'll ask you questions of, what do you have any other question? Okay, do you have any other questions for us now? Never, never, never ask your first question to be, how much will you pay me? Okay, those conversations come at a later stage. They don't come at this level. If I've gone for an interview, for example, for a company, an organization like Trading Places, which we just looked at yesterday, one of the questions that I'll ask, of course, the first question I'll ask, how is my career like in this organization? Okay, and by that I'm meaning, as I'm entering as an accountant, how does my career look like ahead of me? So in there, somebody knows that, okay, this person is not just coming for this position, but they're a person who is has a mission for growth, and they are also a person who is here to stay. You know, employers don't like job hoppers. They don't want to recruit you. They invest a lot of money in recruitment, so they don't want to invite you for the interview today, and after you've given the job 3 months, 2 months, you're resigning to go to another organization. They want somebody who is coming and will grow within the organization. So if you ask such a question, it prompts, but also helps you to understand your career development within the organization. Okay. The other question that you could also ask about the organization. Okay, I say, I've actually gotten so much interested in the work that Trading Places is doing in enabling every child have a home in Uganda. What are some of the other projects that you're doing? Or what are some of the other things that you're doing other than the projects that you're recruiting for? Or maybe what is your where are you? What are some of your other operations? What other countries are you on in Uganda, or you have other operations? Like, ask a question that helps somebody feel that you're interested in them and you know them. And that's why it's good for you to read more about the organization. You say, for example, I was trying to, I came across an article for Trading Places that was speaking about your work in Lese Karamoja, or your work in the refugee settlement. Okay, what have been some of your experiences in such an area, and what exactly could you be trying to achieve? So somebody says, oh, you even read an article about us doing, yes, we are actually doing great work in the refugee settlement. And one of the things that we are doing is we are also helping the children of the refugee settlers to make sure that they also find home as well. And by the way, the project that you'll be working on is a project that also extends to the refugee settlement. So somebody, you connect with them, okay? You connect with them. So Any questions around of when will you get back to me? Of course, it's good to ask that question. Maybe if they as your third question here and there, but definitely you don't want to look desperate, okay? Because anyone who is interviewing you will clearly indicate to you when they will get back to you. That is something that they will never forget. If they forget, then maybe that could be your third question. But in one way or the other, give them time, okay? Give them time, because there is a process and the other people that they're also going to interview as well. So give them a time, okay? Now, like earlier indicated, you may go for an interview and you don't have certain credentials. Let's say maybe the job required the master's and you don't have a master's, but you've been invited for the interview. Now, the fact that you've been invited for the interview, know that they believe that your other qualities are able to put you forward. And that is why it is important for you to leverage on your high ends. For example, leverage on, let's say, your job experience. I don't have a master's, but I have over 10 years experience in this field. So there you're making them feel like, okay, it's not about a master's, but his experience can be able to catch up here. In case you're already pursuing, maybe you've not just acquired the qualification, make sure that you're indicating that to them so they know what exactly you're doing, okay? So boost on on what you think you're better than other candidates. And as much as possible, sell yourself. One time I entered an interview and the HR after the interview told me that, Samuel, I think you can be a good politician. And I asked her, why would you say so? And told me that you actually know how to communicate and sell yourself, okay? Now, one of the things, job interviews are like, for example, this mentorship session that you've signed for. The reason why you signed up for this mentorship is because I sold myself to you, okay? If I hadn't given you all the confidence to sign up for this program, you wouldn't have signed up for it. So it's the same thing also for you. If you're applying for a job, the only thing that will get you inside is selling yourself. So make sure that you use it every time. If they have told you, tell us about yourself, speak and speak and speak until they say, okay, next question, okay? Make sure that by the time you stop, you've brought in everything that is good about you, okay? Any achievements that you had, any recent skill that you attained, any experience that you've had before, any kind of knowledge that you think is relevant to the job, all included within the tell us about yourself, okay? Don't bring personal kind of things maybe my father is this name, my mother is this name. Those things are not required for the job, okay? All we want to know is what is your name, what is your academic background, what is your job experience, okay? What are your skills? Basically, what do you bring on table, and why should we hire you as the candidate for this job? Any other personal information, leave it out. In case maybe this job, unless it clearly indicated, maybe they want somebody who is married, you can include it there and say maybe I'm married. You can include it there, okay? But if they say of course, if the job also required someone who is single, bring it out. But if it's not required, then don't bring it out. Don't again repeat and say I'm a Ugandan by nationality. They know all this kind of information, okay? Because they know you are truly labor, you are Ugandan. So you don't need to waste a lot of time again telling us about your nationality, okay? So that's why they tell us about yourself. Focus, say my name is Samuel Ibanda and I'm an accountant by profession. I hold a bachelor's degree in commerce, as well as the certified public accountant's qualification, okay? I have undertaken several other trainings in the area of accounting systems like QuickBooks Tally, SAP, as well as tax, okay? Then go down now to your experience. If you're done with your, and say I'm currently working with this organization as this person, okay? Previously, I worked with this other organization and this other organization. Now come back and say my current role entails so and so. I've been able to achieve A, B, C, and D, okay, in my current position. I think you can see. And as you speak of what you've been able to do in your current job, have in mind the job description that you have applied for, because that is where somebody is trying to match. Whatever conversation you're saying, somebody is matching it with what they have, the job description, okay, at the end of the day. And that's why you see they keep noting. I think you've ever been in an interview where you're speaking and the person who is recruiting is noting down, is giving you marks, is ranking you. Every time you speak of something that is in the job description, they're able to pick it. If this job required to have excellent Microsoft skills, and you've spoken that, okay, my name is Samuel, one of my skills is Microsoft Excel skills, the person already is noting that and is ticking off and is ranking you. Okay, so it's important for you to have that in mind. So we can speak of interviews several kind of things, but I want to tell you that one of the things that will help you as an interview is understanding the organization and also understanding the job description that you're being advertised for, making sure that all the content on your CV, you're well versed with it, making sure that you sell yourself confidently. Be confident. The fact that you've been invited for this interview means that you have something to offer. So don't be timid. Remember, you can be good as much as possible, but if you cannot present what you're good at, I want to tell you that you will not get the job, okay? You will not get the job. Somebody wants, don't say for me, I'm an introvert, and that is what everyone, some of us are introverts, but we've chosen to get out of our space to develop these skills, okay? And you see, it doesn't just happen in a day. Make sure that you're improving these skills over and over time. Your presentation skills are very key, okay? If you have an interview panel that is interviewing me for a career coaching job, you will definitely give me the job because I've confidently presented my message well to you, okay? So it's very important that you learn how to sell your public speaking skills. And also to do with when you in an interview, mind your non-verbal communications. You don't have to lean. Make sure that you sit firm. Make sure you're not again handling your cheek. Make sure that you as much. And of course, also one of the things that also builds your confidence is your dress up as well. Make sure that you dress up your best attire, okay, when you're going for such interviews, so that you boost your confidence as well, okay? Make sure that the picture that somebody's seeing speaks more about you. Let somebody just say, this person just comes, they just come from a party, or did they just come from maybe they just woke up and just walked in here, okay? That's why you see even just ironing your clothes is a plus. Don't just come and somebody feels like this is somebody who is desperate, okay? When somebody looks at you, sure, like, this person. So very small things, but they can be either turn off or make somebody invite you for the next interview, okay? Now, one of the things that also when I speak of interviews, there are also written interviews. Now, with written interviews, build your skills around Excel. This is for accountants. 80% of the interviews that are written will have Excel in them. Make sure that you boost your Excel. If you feel you still have challenges in Excel, go train for Excel, okay? As achievers, we offer training for Excel, but you can also do self-study. Look out for some of these trainings on internet. YouTube has a lot of Excel trainings, okay, on them. So make sure that you're looking out for such skills and boost them every day, okay? So very important for us to have that in mind. And of course, one of the other things that you should also be looking at is when it comes to interviews, of course, if they are written interviews, time management is very key. Make sure you practice. If it is an aptitude test, make sure that you also get some aptitude samples. And you can find this online also. You get it. Aptitude sample questions for accountants. You can find them. And also make sure that you understand the subject matter. Like I said, find more about the recent tax amendments. Make sure that you know simple double entry. Make sure that you know how the organization works. If you're going for an interview, for example, in an NGO world, you're going to get questions like around advances, accountabilities, partner management, and so on. So interest yourself to understand some of these industries. One of the things that I do, one of the trainings that I do train is grants management. Grants and financial management for NGOs. And that training is basically to help people that don't have any NGO background to be able to understand how NGOs work and be able to start to confidently apply for some of these jobs. Okay, so if you feel you may need this training, you may need to reach out maybe and see if you can have the training. Okay, and must understand that how that industry looks like. I want to tell you that don't limit yourself onto one industry. Okay, make sure that you understand, and because you see, these days you see jobs. You either see a job in the private sector or see a job in the NGO world. Now, because for you, in your mind, you're like, but I don't have NGO experience. Now, you ask yourself, those that have the NGO experience, did they also start from having experience? Did they get out of university with experience? No. They actually took time to either acquire the skills, but then also they took the step to start and join some of these organizations. I think you've heard my story. I came from the private sector, joined the NGO world. I didn't have the skills, but I developed the skills. I developed the knowledge even before I went for the interviews. And along the way, I've now been fully established within the industry. If I want to come back to the private sector, I would also interest myself now into the latest developments in the private sector around the taxes that relate to the private sector, accounting standards, you get it, that are now around, and so on. So that is the same thing that you should have in mind when you want to cross to any industry, but also to position yourself as a person. You know, some of the things we do, the trainings, the skills development, and so on we do, are to prepare us for any opportunities that might come. Okay, because you don't know which opportunity is coming in the next 2 months or in the next 1 month. And that's why every day develop your skills. Look out for skills that are relevant to the market and keep on building on those. Okay, so it's very important for us to have that in mind. So I want to basically leave interviews for now at that level, but after the interview, make sure that of course you if you asked any other word, say any other question. If you don't have any other question to ask after maybe your 3 questions, say maybe I don't have any other question, but I just want to appreciate the interview panel for the opportunity to be invited for this interview. And I look forward to working with this organization, and I look forward to adding more value. Okay, so that closing remark is also helps you to boost on your, to just give a little summary. Okay, I look forward to joining this organization because I've got the right skills, because I've also been able to acquire the right experience, which I believe rightly fits with this job. And you go. Instead of being asking, do you have any other question, and say, I don't have any other question. Before you say, say, I don't have any other question, but I want to use this opportunity to thank you. Start from there. Okay. All those things seem to be simple, but remember, you're competing with over 100 people for the same job. So what extra are you going to do that will make this person feel like this is the person we need. And I want to tell you that yesterday I said, change your mindset. Don't go for an interview with this mindset that, even I'm just going for this interview, but they already have the people that they want. That is not something that you should have in mind. Go with an open mind. Say, if I've been invited for the interview, I have all the potential to actually be called. I want to tell you that myself, currently at my status, every interview that I have done, the last interviews that I've done, I've actually come out as the best candidate. And because I do these things, okay? If you invite me for the interview, just know that you'll be left convinced and I'll always be the candidate you're looking out for. Why? Because I do these simple things that other people take to be irrelevant. But there's a way that you connect with the person and the person is able to get more interested in you, okay? So that is very important for us. Now, yesterday I had spoken about LinkedIn. I just want to use 5 minutes to just give you some insights, especially for those that are developing their LinkedIn profiles. Okay, my profile is a consultant profile, so I will not use my profile, but you can also check out my profile later in case you want to see anything. So I'll use one of my colleagues here profile. Now, this is Darius Nkwasiwe, okay? Now, your profile, when you're designing your profile, there's what we call this heading, okay? This is what describes you, okay? And some people may go ahead to use this as a position. You can use this, you can make sure that you use this as a position, your current position or your profession. For example, mine, you see me including, let's say, finance manager, or you see me include, for example, accountant. Now, when you look at this, for example, as I think you can see, this is a human resource practitioner. This is a management consultant. This one included their degree. So other people go ahead to include also their qualification. For example, this one, because they are doing an MBA, they included MBA candidate, okay? I also want to show you somebody. This one also included their qualifications. This one also included their position, okay? Now, let me show you something here. Now, okay, so this one is a field assistant at NARI, National Agriculture Livestock, and so on. And this is her name. Of course, make sure that you use your right name, starting with the capital letter, as you can see. Now, when it comes to photo, okay, unless your job really relates, maybe you're an engineer and you're in an overall, and that is the picture you're indicating. But for LinkedIn, make sure that you use a professional photo, okay? Make sure that you use a professional. This is not a professional photo, okay? This is not a professional photo. Don't just pick any photo. Go to the studio and take a portrait, okay? Take a portrait. You can see my photo here. This is a professional photo. I'm in a tie, okay? I'm smiling, you see? So it's important that whatever you're reflecting reflects you, okay? You can see this is Jackie Namara. You can see her photo. It's professional. It's a studio photo, okay? That is the kind of photo that you should be including here, okay? Don't just include anything that you think you should include. So that is important. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So make sure that whatever you're including sells you to the other person. Now, like I said earlier yesterday, LinkedIn will also give you an opportunity to put your education. So your recent education will definitely always show here. And then also make sure that when it comes to your about should show your personal profile, which I asked you to prepare, okay? And this is usually a generic one, okay? Like I said, for every job, you may choose to keep on adjusting this, but make sure that you indicating something that's much professional. Now, start with, there's also a part for experience, okay? Like the way you see CVs are, the same information that is on your CV, come and transfer it here under your experience. Include what exactly are you doing, not just copy your job descriptions, okay? And include them here. Make sure that they are constructive in nature, okay? And also make sure that even on your CV, if you have any past responsibility you had, the narration you should include here is a past tense narration. You get it? I provided leadership. I led this and this. You get it? It's important because if you're in your CV, for example, I'll just show you this CV here. For example, this person was an accounts assistant, an intern at Oyam district. Now, when you including such descriptions and say processing payments, posting vote books, now instead include, I was able to be part of the payment team and I was able to process payments timely, okay? Remember, whatever you're writing here, you want it to promote you. So what is more about processing payments? Go ahead to add more and say, I helped the organization process payments timely and to the right people, okay? And this was achieved by ensuring that the details on the invoice matched the details on, let's say, the LPO, okay? Or on the contract. So somebody knows that you're a person who is keen to attend, you keen to details, and you're doing much, okay? Posting cash book, what exactly were you doing? And write it in past tense for job descriptions, for experience that you already did some time back. When it comes to your current job, now this is a previous. Say promoted bank products. And how did you promote them? Okay, maybe this was through walking to different other offices and so on. Just add some value that you think can create some more catchy information, okay? Now, when you come to, of course, when you come to your current job, this should be in the present tense, okay? Just like the way you see preparation of regular this and this, but this should be provided information for guidance, received money from and pay out customers, and make sure that whatever you're including is a bit elaborate and it's relevant, okay? Especially the job that you're applying for. Because this is where somebody, after looking at your personal profile and it is good, somebody will now run to your experience to see, do you have the right experience? Okay? So you have to take that into consideration. So that's the same thing that you should also do for your LinkedIn. Make sure that you're including all that information right there, okay? And also make sure if you have any achievements, also include them here. Education, make sure that you include all your academic credentials. Sometimes LinkedIn does, LinkedIn has a kind of system for recruiters where if I want somebody who has a CPA and maybe somebody who has a degree in accounting, LinkedIn can be able to run for me the system and be able to give me the potential candidates. Actually, I can say, I want somebody who has 5 years experience. I want somebody who has a CPA. I want somebody who has, let's say maybe ACCA as well. LinkedIn will be able to filter for you such a kind of information. Now, if you're a person who has not included this information in your LinkedIn or even in your CV, because even in the CV machines also use the same principle. So if you've not included this information in your CV or on your LinkedIn account, then you lose out, okay? You'll not be part of the people that will be filtered out to be reached out to. So that's important. And then when it comes to skills, include your skills as much as possible, okay? Of course, relevant skills that are to your job. Like, for example, he included financial analysis, research, financial reporting, budgets, project management, Microsoft Office, okay? If I was him here, I would also include Microsoft Excel and so on, okay? Actually, he had included Microsoft Excel right here. So include anything that you think is relevant, okay? And of course, the header is, this should be clear, your current position. If you think your current position lets you down, maybe it's a position that you want to just include maybe accountant. Okay. Or included, this one include the finance and at top finance bank. So when I get down here, it also included just finance. So I don't know if it's a finance manager or maybe as a CFO. Okay. So you can see. So you can see that these CVs are outside there. They are online CVs. People are checking them out. And that is why you see yesterday I showed you and said, overall, for the last 90 days, over 1,299 people have checked my profile, okay? 1,299 profile viewers in the last 90 days. Every day people are checking out my profile, okay? And the reason why they check out my profile is for different reasons. It's either to, they are recruiters, or they are either people that want maybe to work with me, people like you, who are my clients, okay, as well as other kind of people that may want to look out for, okay. Now, one of the other things that you should also be looking out for when you join LinkedIn is write some articles and write something. Make sure that you're active, just like the way you post on Facebook. Make sure that you're a bit active, okay. Some of you that follow me know that I have posts, and I also have articles that I've written, okay, that you'll be able to find. Of course, some of the articles and these ones, they are related to me as a consultant, okay. But as let's say an auditor or an accountant, you might go ahead to write more about your knowledge in accounting, okay, your knowledge in accounting. Now that helps you. I'll show you, for example, this is one of my friends. This is Eric. Okay, somebody says, is the about section always written in third persons is diligent instead of diligent? Now, in most cases, okay, the person who is going to read this, the person who is reading this is an external person. So you don't want them to read and say I, okay, and say I am diligent. Remember, they are reading somebody's other profile. So you want them that as they are reading as reading another person's profile, which is you, okay? So that is why you see in most cases, the profiles will be kind of a third party, like the way you've included it. And that is the reason why that happens, okay? But you can also include, you can indicate it. Some people do either you're not limited. For example, you can see this is Jackie. She goes ahead to say, if you're a medium owner and you can relate to the following statements. Okay, this is she just includes it here. She's a consultant. So she comes here and says, I'm the CEO of Igulu Consultants and we work with people and so on as a chartered marketer and fair of that. So you can see she's using as. When you come to for example, Julius is here, he goes ahead and says Julius is a certified public accountant with a decade of so and so. So he writes it that, but this is the common style. Okay, this is the common style of writing it as a third party. Okay, so you can see this one wrote, I'm international certified oil and gas pipe filter, and so on. So depending on what exactly you want to do, but make sure that you use the right professional photo. Okay, now if this one is earning in here, you can use this, but now using this as a photo, it reflects differently. Use a headshot. We call it a headshot. Okay, like I earlier indicated, if you have your CVs, you can include it in the featured section. You can include it in the featured section. Maybe you've had an article also written, it can be included here. And how you include it here, I'll show you. When you, in your own profile, you'll be able to see this part of featured, and it has a plus and it has this. So what you just do is say, add a plus. So it will ask you, do you want to add a post? Do you want to add an article? Do you want to add a link to the web content? Maybe you had any article, your article was published maybe in the New Vision. And then to ask you, media, do you want to upload photos, documents, and presentations? Okay, then you're able to include that there. So I hope you get the message rightly. So that helps you to make sure that any kind of information you're including can be accessed by any other person who is interested in hiring you. Even the system, when they're running a system, they're able to get the right candidates from you. Like I earlier indicated yesterday, some jobs, and most of them, especially those that are advertised online, they'll ask you to apply online. Okay, I think you can see every time there is the word apply. So you apply and it will take your what? It will take, for example, your profile. Okay, as you're doing the application. Some systems will even ask you to include, they'll ask you to include, let's say, to include your LinkedIn account. So somebody wants, in addition to just checking at your CV, they want to go back to your LinkedIn and check out and see, does this person have the right skills? So you, as your CV is good, make sure that also your LinkedIn account is also showing the same thing. Okay, that is important. So LinkedIn, you can learn it as much as possible. Get to it, and also connect with people who are in your network. Okay, there's a tab here called network. Now, connect with two kinds of people. Connect, of course, with your peers, people that maybe you studied with, people that you know. Connect with people who are of the same profession. Okay. For example, I think people you may know, people with similar roles. Connect to people with similar roles, but also connect with people at superior roles, because these are the people that are going to be in your network, that are going to see the work that you're doing, that are going to check out your profile, that are going to recruit you at the end of the day. Okay, so it's important for you to have that in mind. And of course, one of the other things that you should also do is connect with recruiters, people that have the word human resource manager. Okay, maybe a recruiter, maybe a human resource director. Make sure you connect with such people as well, because those are the people that will use LinkedIn to source for some of people. So when they get to your article, maybe you've written about depreciation of assets. They're like, oh, this person is very knowledgeable. Even maybe you've written about the new latest standard and you've written a good understanding of it. Someone's like, okay, this person, I need to check them out. I think this is the right guy we are looking for our job. Okay. If you're working for an NGO and you write more about maybe grants management, somebody's like, okay, this is the kind, this is rich information. Somebody wants, because even when it comes to your profile, somebody can easily check out your articles. Let me just try to show you. For example, this is Darius Nkwasibwe. I can go and check out his articles. His articles are usually so in activity, and I see all activity. I can check out and see what this person is posting. Okay. I can check out to see what this person is posting, but then I can also check out what are some of his articles. Has he posted any article? Now you can see Darius posted an article negotiating for a higher pay. He also posted something of personal finance lessons from the coronavirus. He also posted something about what next about university. He also posted something about value of financial literacy. Now, as you can see, Darius is selling himself as a financial literacy trainer because of the content he's posting. Okay. So that is what is happening. Even his documents, any documents that he has shared will definitely show in this field. Any posts, the employer wants to know, what are you posting about? And when you also post about things online, when you're posting some things online, it helps the other person. It will help the other person know about you, okay? And also don't just be on LinkedIn and don't post. Not only posting, but comment on people's posts that are relevant to your field, okay? For example, if I want to, let's say, search for maybe information around accounting, I'll search like posts around accounting. I'll say maybe accounting and just say search like that. Then I'll come to posts that are speaking about accounting. So I'll be able to get the posts that are speaking about accounting. Okay. For example, this one is, are you looking for jobs, internship opportunities, both work and work from home, HR interns, finance and accounting. So you're able to look out for those posts and engage with them. Okay. Make sure that you engage with them, comment, put something that you think you can add value to. Okay. Yeah. So that is an insight on LinkedIn. In case you have any challenges, please always reach out and I'll be able to support you or give you more clarity, okay, about LinkedIn, okay? Now, this moment I want to just speak about how to earn a side income as an accountant. Now, many of us have the skills. You have the qualifications, you have the experience, and so on. Now, as an accountant, you can actually make money outside your job. And how does this happen? How can you make money outside your job? Now, the first thing that you should look out for is, what are some of the skills that I can sell to other people? Okay. For example, I am good at Excel. Is there anyone else who wants to learn Excel? Okay. Maybe I'm good at QuickBooks. Are there any of my friends that may want to learn QuickBooks, or people in my network that may want to learn QuickBooks, but don't have anyone to train them? So we have the area of skill development as a side hustle. As you've developed your skill, you also develop the skill of the others, okay? And for you to do that is that you have to let people know that you are available to train others in your skills, okay? So either accounting skills or QuickBooks accounting software, or Microsoft Excel, and you can position this as to individuals, but also to be able to train companies as well. Become a consultant to organizations, okay? There are many small companies that can't afford to recruit an accountant of your experience, but they need your service. But all they are waiting for is to hear that you can actually provide the service, and they are also waiting to see you somewhere advertise and say, guys, any entrepreneur or small business owner that is looking out for someone to help them with accounts, I'm available, okay? And you can also start by offering this as, we call it pro bono. If there is anyone in your network whom you think is running a business and they don't have any account systems in place, offer and say, by the way, you're running this and I'm an accountant and I would want to help you, okay? Offer to have a 1 hour conversation with them. Let them take you through what they are doing, exactly, advise them. Then right there, you'll be the person they will be looking out for to help them with taxes. You'll be the person whom they will be looking out for to help them with, let's say, set up the accounting system, to help them with maybe prepare financial statements and so on, okay? So as somebody who is looking forward to earning a side income, is boost your skills yourself. Either you're learning them from somewhere else or you're learning them from your workplace. And then after you've boosted your skills, make sure that you're now presenting your skills to the market. Let people know about you. Some of you know about me as a coach. Reason why you know about me as a coach is because I've positioned myself to other people. You have your WhatsApp status, and you have over, let's say, over 100 plus people in your contacts. But all they know is that you're employed in another organization, and they don't have any idea that you actually need money from side incomes, okay? So why are you not just, let's say, why are you not just telling them of what exactly you can do and leave it to them? When somebody gets to the point in time and says, by the way, I'm looking for an accountant who can help me with my taxes. Someone will remember, oh, I saw a status of Jen on her WhatsApp status. I think Jen can help you, and they'll be sharing with you, okay? These days, we even have WhatsApp for business. You can even include some of the services that you offer, okay, as an accountant. And somebody will always see WhatsApp for business and will be able to see even your catalog of what exactly you're offering, okay? So it's important. It's important for you to create such things that can give you some amount of money. You can also do things like proposal development. You know, there are some additional skills that you also gain along your journey as an accountant. You can be able to develop business plans for people. Some of these skills, you may not have them, but go and develop them, okay? Get another person who knows it and learn from there, okay? And don't be afraid to tell people what exactly you do. As long as the job, that the side hustle or the side income that you're trying to look for does not interfere with your current job, it has no problem. Some of you know me, I'm a teacher, I'm a CPA trainer. I use my accounting knowledge to train other people. I'm invited to organizations to speak, okay, to be able to share the message that I know. And that is a side income for me. I have several clients that I'm supporting on a monthly basis when it comes to filing their returns, okay? And those are either my colleagues, either people that I studied with, either people that I was recommended to, either people that I just positioned myself, I advertised myself and they were able to see, okay? And you don't just have to say, I sell this, I sell this. Start with providing value. Start by posting about, this is how businesses need to be managing their cash. So somebody's like, okay, this person is well knowledgeable. Like, look out for pain points, okay? Why you joined this program is because I spoke about promotion, I spoke about winning CV, I spoke about professional LinkedIn, and these were your pain points. These are the things that you wanted to improve in your life. So what things do you think that a business owner would love to improve about their accounting? That business owner that cannot afford an accountant, what exactly do you think they would like to boost? And that is what you should be looking out for to provide to them, okay? That is what you should be looking out to provide to them. At the end of the day, when you provide to them that kind of information that they need, okay, then they can actually pay for it. Look out for organizations that are within your network and give them a proposal, okay? And say, I am ready to be providing my service be coming 2 times a week, okay? And they'll be outside there to be interested to take up your services, okay? Make sure that you use your social medias rightly. Let them be professional and depict you as a person who can provide an extra service to another person. It doesn't cost you to say, guys, I help business people when it comes to their accounting. And I've told you, offer. You can even say, I'm offering a training to business people in financial accounting. And you get many people who are interested. And from there, you've given them a lot of value. You've been able to highlight to them their pain points. Present to them and say, guys, I'm actually, I can help you improve your systems. Make sure that you know some of these accounting softwares. Make sure that you know who sells some of these accounting softwares. So that if any business asks you, maybe I want to introduce QuickBooks in my organization, you know where to run to get these QuickBooks and add your margin, and you give this QuickBooks to this person, okay? You need to learn how to make money from your knowledge as an accountant, because I believe it's possible. Myself have been able to do so, okay? Because you cannot depend on salary. And anytime you can lose that job, anytime you can be laid off. So what will help you to remain afloat is having a side income, something that can keep you going, okay? And at the end of the day, also our salaries are small. So if you're in that organization, the work that you're doing does not really make you happy, you're demoralized, why not think about a side income that is related to your profession? So that even if you're not practicing that tax that you studied, you at least have some organization you're helping with the tax. It could be even on voluntary basis. And like I said, as you keep developing your profile, as you keep supporting different people in different areas, they keep recommending you to other people. They keep recommending you to other people, okay? And at the end of the day, you're going to find yourself in a position where you have people that are calling you, let's say monthly, to come and support them here and there, okay? That is why it's also good to build a network. One of the things that when it comes to career, networks are very key. Remember the concept of who knows you? Make sure that you're building the right networks. Whatever we're doing right now, even if for these sessions that we are holding right now, I know some of you have not joined in these sessions live and you're waiting for the recording. Yeah, well and good. But by me connecting here, knowing that, okay, Monica is part of this session, Maureen is part of this session, okay? Ziada is part of this session. These are names that I now relate well with. That if I get anywhere and I'm seeing this person's name, I'm like, okay, I think this person was part of my mentorship, okay? This person was part of my mentorship and I've seen them before. So that gives you a starting ground. So that is why you see LinkedIn gives you that platform. LinkedIn helps you to be outside there in the face of other people, okay? Every time you're in the face of people. So anytime somebody thinks of, we're actually looking for an accountant who is well knowledgeable about this subject, about taxes. They know, okay, this person has been posting, they posted about VAT, they have posted about pay as you earn, they have posted about this, so this person may be knowledgeable about tax. Or if you're an auditor, you've posted about auditing in one of your articles and so on. Use your networks rightly, okay? Let somebody know that you're an accountant. Some of you that saved me in my WhatsApp number, you know very well that my WhatsApp number has the word accountant on it, okay? I'm Coach Samuel Ivanda, my description has accountant, so I'm an accountant. I make sure that as many people know about my being an accountant. And also I want many people to know about my being accountant, but also knowing that I'm open to business. Okay, I'm not just an accountant who's employed by another individual. I'm an accountant who can help other small businesses or other businesses in the area of accounting and taxes. Okay, so networks have a kind of, even when it comes to your part of, let's say, any gathering, make sure that you're presenting yourself in that capacity so people know that, oh, we even have an accountant in the area. Okay, so somebody knows that in case I need any kind of service, I can reach out to this person. So when you start getting those people coming to you, then you start thinking of how much am I going to charge them. Okay, maybe I'm going to be charging like 300,000, or I'm going to charge maybe 100,000 every time I visit this person. And then you'll be able to go ahead to think about things like maybe even having just a brand name and say maybe my brand name is Monica Associates. Okay, you may not have to register these things, just have a simple thing and maybe have even a Facebook page where you even able to open up and just start posting good information about any field that you'd like to venture in. And people will be reading, people will be interested. By the time you say that, guys, I'm here to help you, they're like, oh, this lady is knowledgeable. Okay, so they're able to give you a platform. So that is why you need to develop your profile. Some of you that follow me know that if somebody speaks of accountants in Uganda, okay, it's much likely that I'll come on the list of 10, because somebody knows that this guy I've seen him over and over time in different platforms. You see me on LinkedIn, you see me in Facebook, you see me on WhatsApp, you see me in different places. Okay, I'm everywhere. So I'm keeping people's minds. So anyone who is interested, they always check out with me. Like, I'm looking for an audit firm to help me prepare. The bank has asked me for financial statements. Then you know that, okay, I can actually help you with the financial. If there's somebody who is, let's say, working in the bank, you know very well that when it comes to bank requirements for people who are taking loans, there are always people who ask for, let's say the bank might ask for okay, they will ask for the bank statement, but also the financial statements. And these small businesses cannot prepare these financial statements. So can you be able to have some of these skills be shared by some of these business people to be able to help them? People don't know tax, okay? Somebody gets an assessment from URL of over 100 million. And by you helping them, these days people charge 10%, say 10% of every tax I save you. So the assessment is 100 million, you're able to get down and you actually realize that this person is being instead of 100 million, they should be charged 10 million. So you're able to save this business person over 90 million. And remember, if you're charging 10%, that is 9 million that you're taking home. Okay? And that's how people are making money. So understand some of these things. Invest your time in taxes. Understand these taxes, because taxes have a lot of money. There's a lot of money in taxes. Okay? Because few people know about them, and every day there are advancements. So as an accountant, you can't be there when you don't understand the recent developments in tax. And you don't understand this only for your job, maybe because you don't have, your role does not give you a platform to practice the tax. Understand it from the perspective of knowing that I can actually get business. Somebody will be struggling with their taxes and I'll be right there to help them because I'm knowledgeable, okay? So the same thing with the skills, like I indicated, learn the skills as much as possible, develop the skills so that anyone who is, and also don't be ashamed to charge, because at the end of the day, you put a lot of money to invest in these skills. You took a lot of time studying at the university to acquire your accounting knowledge. Don't be afraid to charge somebody. I know because you have friends, they always come for free things. Please make sure you learn to charge them. And that's why you see sometimes you now go back to work as the company or as so that somebody knows that, okay, this person I'm dealing with, they actually understand, they understand the work that they do and they are professional in nature. I'll even invoice you. I'll send you an invoice. Okay. because my thing is professional. I invested time in this, so I don't do this work for free. Yes, I can have pro bono services as a marketing to you to help you realize that you actually need my services. But once we've now gone into detail, I'll give you an invoice. Okay? So somebody knows, okay, you're much professional. So all these things are things that you definitely don't start in one day, but it all starts with reflection and seeing exactly what am I going to do about my situation, okay? Because other than that, you cannot be able to attain certain things in life if you're not intentional about the life that you want, okay? Everything starts with intentionality. The things that we do today, I'm a coach, I'm an accountant, I'm an entrepreneur, and so on. I've succeeded in my profession. I know it's not something that has come by just luck, like I usually put it, okay? But it's something that has come with a lot of effort behind it. There are certain things that I've done intentionally. Like you're part of this program. You've come to attend this program because you're intentional about your career growth. You're intentional about your journey ahead, okay? And that is why you need to keep up with the same pace. Make sure that you always look out for knowledge. And also make sure that you also look out for mentorship. Opportunities like this, look out for them. Be able to learn something, okay? You know, you can never be a master of everything. And there's always something that you learn from one person. And sometimes you only what you need is somebody to just tip on something, and that something will already be a ground for you to start on it. Like, I got this idea from somebody, and that idea is the idea that has changed your life. Okay, so I want to tell you that everything is possible. Everything that we have talked about today and even in the previous day is possible. You can be able to get the job that you're looking out for, either internally or externally, okay? You can be able to grow within your career wise. You can be able to earn a side income, okay, as well. Now, I want to conclude with the aspect of finding promotion at your workplace, okay? Now, if, for example, you're employed, just a moment. Okay, so about how to find, of course, how to earn a promotion at your current job. I want to highlight to you, I already had shared some kind of pointers on you need to look at, especially when you looking for promotion at the workplace. But before that, I want to say, now, if you're in an organization that has room for growth and there are opportunities to grow, I want to tell you that people that are promoted are people that have demonstrated their capability for the next position, okay? If you want to be a manager, then you should demonstrate that you can actually manage people. You can supervise people. You know, you can be good at your technical skills. But if somebody has not seen management skills in you, they will be afraid to give you a platform to grow, okay? If you're an accounts assistant and you want to become an accountant, you know very well what accountants do. You know very well the knowledge that accountants should have. The work that you're doing definitely will replicate in the opportunities that come your way, okay? Like I said, every work that you're doing, make sure that you're doing it with a mindset that you're not just doing your day-to-day work, but you're doing this even for the next job, for the next role ahead of you. Every time you enter an organization, every time you're given any role, yours should be to look at the next level that you're moving to. Everything that you do should be able to feed into the next opportunity for you. One of the things that you should also know is that every day people are watching. They are watching you. They are watching the work that you're doing. Okay? Every day, people are watching. They are seeing whatever you're doing. They are looking at the work that you provided. If you're in a finance career like myself, you know very well that if you have a supervisor and you're preparing either bank reconciliation, either you prepared returns, before you submit this information to your supervisor or any kind of report, make sure that all the information that is there, you are 100% sure, okay, that it best represents you. If you are an account assistant or an accountant and you submit to me a document, and by just looking at the document, going through, there are things that I believe anyone who has some capacity like you would not make such errors. And these errors are routine in nature, that even when you make that error today, I'll see the same error in the next day. Then I want to tell you that that will limit your growth. Okay? So that's why I call it exceptional performance. Before you share your document, any document with anyone, make sure that you've given it greater review. Okay? So that there is nothing that will make the other person feel like you're not competent in nature. Okay? And that is why you see you may not have CPA, you may not have that master's, but when you do your work, it represents you well. Everyone is interested in your report. And every time you start doing your work well, your manager, the person you report to, will start giving you freedom and also start giving you opportunities for growth. By in terms of, if there's any budget that needs to be worked on, they will now start giving you the budget so that you help them work on that budget. Because they are 100% sure. Even when you share with them the document, they know that I don't have to look up to again review this document extensively because I trust Samuel, I trust Monica, I trust Jen. They know very well that they will just look through, peruse through it, and send to the next person. Imagine you submitting a document to your boss, and your boss, because they have less time, they also just share it with, let's say, the client or with the supplier or with management, top management. And this document comes back with the errors, and you're like, you even didn't see this? Since this is an accounting career, even just things to do with numbers, simple arithmetics, you were not able to add a 20 plus a 30 to get to a 50. You know, because computers lie to us, we take little concern of some kind of information, okay? And that makes you feel lazy about even taking time to review. Make sure, it's just like an email. Before you send any kind of emails out, make sure that whatever content you've included there best represents you. It's professional in nature. Every attachment you've attached is an attachment that you've prepared with all your capabilities. And I want to tell you that if you don't know anything, please ask. Don't share something and say, but I didn't know. I'm not experienced in such an area. If you can't do it, then say I cannot do it. But your work represents you well. And I want to tell you that even when they are terminating and laying off staff, the thing that they will most look at is the performance. How has this person been performing? And it's not only submitting quality work, but also submitting it timely, okay? And not only submitting it timely, but also making sure that you're a person who is looked at as a leader. Now, a leader is somebody who does not just look at their work, but they are able to look at even the environment around them. They're also able to look at the things that complement their job, okay? Because you cannot see an inefficiency or a gap in internal control as an accountant, and you cannot highlight it. Maybe myself, I'm just an accounts assistant. That is less concern for me. When you see an internal control gap, maybe this company is not depreciating assets rightly, but you know very well, you studied these things, you understand them. Why not present it? If you think that because we are using this mode of handling stock, there's actually stock is being stolen by other staff, find a way to present this any manager, any person who is in superior position will think through your recommendations and will say, this person is what we need, okay? Because just know that every time there is a promotion, especially internally, there are many stakeholders on that promotion. And there are people that will bring out all that you've done previously and said, that one, no. I even gave them a simple assignment, but they sent me a report with over 90% of errors. That person who cannot even compute, who cannot even prepare a single tax return, and the person that you want to promote to, okay, you get it? So make sure that you understand the requirements for your next job, okay? And make sure that you're shining in your current job, because it's your current job that is going to be a stepping stone for the next position, okay? It's that current job that's going to be the next stepping stone for your next job. It's very important. And also is, of course, be patient. Promotions don't come immediately. You cannot be in a position for, let's say, 1 year and the promotion is coming. Yes, it can come, but be patient. At least within 1.5 years, start looking out for such opportunities to grow. Even after 1 year, if you already owned an organization with some specialties, or you've just attained an academic credential, make sure that you start looking out for such opportunities. Now, one of the things that really helped me in my career, especially for growth, and what I attribute my career growth, one, when I earned my professional qualification, I made sure my employer is aware. So make sure that your employer is aware of any skills you've added. And by the employer, I mean, make sure that your next boss is aware, and also make sure that HR is also aware. And also make sure that, now, some of you have managers, people that you report to that you don't have a good relationship with. Now, jump them and utilize the people that are ahead of you. Let the people that are ahead of you, for example, if I'm an accountant and I have a finance manager and I have issues with the finance manager, make sure the finance director is able to see you, see the work that you do, know you as a key staff, but also be able to let them be able to know some of your qualifications. When I earned my CPA, I sent an email to the HR. I told them, please, I've earned this qualification. This is request you update my HR information if your organization has that. And I made sure the finance director was in copy. I made sure the finance manager was in copy, okay? And I also made sure, I think my area manager was also in copy. So all those people knew that I had earned a qualification. And I want to tell you that even when, at the time when I was asking for the promotion from the finance director then, or the next time we met, they were like, actually, since you earned this qualification, we now want to give you opportunities to grow. You should now be learning things to do with budgeting, reporting, and so on. So they now started picking me from they now started picking me from the other element of data entry to now as somebody who is more advanced, okay? Who is more advanced. So that helps you as much as possible throughout. So when you tell them of your new qualification, it opens their mind, and like, this person, by the time they have earned a new qualification, they are looking for growth, okay? Even that's where the salary increments come in, because if they want to increase salaries, those are some things they also want to look at as well. So Monica says, for my case, my manager doesn't know how much CPA qualification holds because she's not Ugandan, okay? And this is where now if your manager doesn't understand, there are other people that within the organization that understand. I believe HR understands what the CPA qualification means, okay? And like we are saying, we are not only preparing for growth internally. And you see, one of the things to test your credibility, to test your how you positioned in the market is try out even external positions, okay? You have your CPA, try out external positions and see what the outside the market indicates. Now, especially for people who are in, let's say, in other careers and want now to move to accounting, okay? Make sure that if your current job is not giving you the opportunity to practice your accounting, you start looking out, and don't be afraid to start small, okay? Start from a lower position and be able to grow through, okay? So that is something that's important for you. So that's why skills, adding skills is very key, and also letting people know about your skills is also key, okay? And one of the things that I also indicated is also don't be afraid to ask for promotion. If you feel the work that you're doing, you're adding more value to the organization, if you feel you added more papers recently, if you feel you're in good books, if you feel you're in good books of the organization, make sure that you front it and say, I've earned this recent. Actually, don't say I want to be promoted, okay? Basically, you speak about your current roles and say, my current roles, and maybe I'm doing A, B, C, D, but I feel I want to grow also in this area. I want to learn more about taxes, okay? I want to learn more about budgeting. I want to learn about maybe more of grants management and so on. Now, some of those things are things that are at an advanced stage of your career. So somebody knows that, okay, this person is actually willing to grow. They are looking out for more growth. And you see, it all starts with you giving that kind of mindset to the other person that they actually want to grow. Then they'll start giving you opportunities to grow, like give you some assignments that help you to grow in your skills, that give you opportunities maybe to go and supervise a given project and so on. They even help you to stand in, for example, for somebody who is on leave. They even delegate to you. They start building that trust because they know you're not just somebody who just wants to keep doing your work. You want to grow, okay? So it's important. So yes, sometimes, of course, yes, HR may not really, HR may also not, may understand, of course, your qualification, like I said, you share with HR, but in case, of course, still they don't have influence in, maybe in promotion, like I said, look out for other people, let's say ahead of you, let's say in the department, that maybe understand this and give you a ground. And if you feel you're not finding that in the organization, I want to tell you that don't waste your time in such an organization. Find room for growth somewhere. I want to tell you that if I'd remained in some of my previous organizations, I wouldn't be where I am. But I joined an organization that has room for growth, and within 1.5 years, I'd moved from accountant and became a finance manager, okay? And I told you of how I applied for a finance manager role when I was an accountant, yet this position actually required somebody to have been a senior accountant. But because I had the self-belief within myself, and I had already developed my skills, and I already let my organization know about my skills and my competence, okay? And I also demonstrated through my performance that I could actually perform. So they had all convinced that I could actually do the right job, okay? So it's important that we have that in mind when we are trying to look out for promotions, okay, in organizations. Know that what promotes any other person in the organization is the value they bring to the organization. Yes, there are organizations where promotions have other issues around favoritism, but I want to tell you that if you're working in a genuine organization, you're working under a genuine boss, then what will make you grow is the aspect of being able to provide value that is needed within the organization, okay? And if you can't find that opportunity and you've done all that you can, please find another place, okay? When you're applying for any other organization, the first thing you should look out for is find out more about career development in such an organization. Because you don't want to enter an organization and enter in one position and you get stuck and all you have to do is again find another organization. It's also much easier to find promotion internally than externally, okay? But it's also possible to find promotion externally, especially when you have the right skills, the right qualifications, and right experience, you can find promotion outside, okay? And even if you can't find promotion outside, be ready to start small. Enter as a lower position, but as long as you know this organization I've entered has room for growth, that alone should give you a ground to know that I've entered this organization and the future is bright for me, okay? When I entered an organization and I was going to get a lower pay, I remember the person who was recruiting to me told me that you're making a hard decision financially, but I want to tell you that the decision you're making financially, okay, financially is a hard decision, but career-wise, you're actually making the right decision, okay? Career-wise, you're making the right decision. And he actually also told me that for as long as you're a performer, as long as you develop your right skills in this organization, it will not take you less than 2 years to grow. And that exactly happened. I was able to grow within 1.5 years. Okay. And I want to tell you that I didn't know anyone, I didn't have any connections, but I believed in my abilities. I demonstrated that and went there. So it's the same thing for you as well. I believe you can actually excel in your career if you know exactly what it takes and continue to do that. And believe in yourself, be patient, and also use emotional intelligence. Every day should be a day to reflect about your career. Don't just start a year and it ends. For example, my current role now, I've spent, let's say, 8 months in it. And my target is within 1 year, I should have moved, okay? That is what I've prepared my mind with. When I became a finance manager, my mind was like, I shouldn't go beyond 2 years in this role. And I want to tell you that it actually did so. The same thing also happened when I was an accountant. I said, at least within 1 year, I should be able to move to the next. Yes, I did move within 1 year, but within 1.5 years, I was able to move to the next position. And that I usually say either internally or externally. Remember, I'm not afraid to movements. I don't want to be in an organization for over 4 years in the same position, earning the same salary, and if it has changed, maybe it has only changed by 1 million shilling. That is not something that I'm looking out for. And you know very well that if you have different experience from different areas, it's also a plus on your career. As long as you're a bit systematic in the industry that you're in. If you're in the banking industry, maybe finding another job in another bank is a plus to your career. Even if you're going for the same position, it's actually a plus on your career, and it really pushes you ahead as an individual, okay? So don't be afraid about your scenario, and don't give your career growth to your manager or give it to your HR, because it means that their decision, if they don't promote you, then you remain stuck in a position for all that long time. That's why I want you to open your mind and say, either I grow internally or externally, but I must grow. I must find growth, okay? I must find growth at it somewhere. And I want to tell you that you will actually find it. And that is why you see, even when you get to a point in time and you're not growing, you start opening your mind and start applying in other places. You be aggressive in nature. Apply to any opportunity that comes your way. Even have a dedicated day and say on Wednesday's afternoon, at least I send out a CV outside, okay? Don't be that person who says, but these things no longer work. I've applied for several. The reason why you've applied for several and they have not called you is because of certain things that you've not done rightly, okay? So make sure that you're doing the right thing. So I want to say thank you so much, and I hope this has been helpful to you. We are still on this program, and I'll be able to, in the next period, I'll be doing some more videos that I'll be sharing with you on the WhatsApp group that will be able to help you learn more about career development, especially in your field as an accountant, okay? So I want to say that it's been a pleasure to have you on this program. And since we're still on the WhatsApp group, let's make sure that we keep interacting. You can ask questions. You can either send me questions independently or you can be able to post those questions on the WhatsApp group, and I'm able to post generally the responses. Also, make sure that you work on your CV. I would love to look at your CV and give you comments about it after the information that we've just gone through. Also, make sure that you work also in your LinkedIn profile, okay? And also make sure that when you have a job that you're going for to an interview too, make sure you're able to reflect on some of the things that we've talked, to be able to prepare extensively. In case there is anything that you feel you don't understand on a job description and you think somebody can really help you out, you can always reach out. I'm a person who keep you in the network, okay? It's not just that we're part of this mentorship and it will end. Let's keep the network. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Let me know more about you, the work that you're doing. I believe that this is just the start of us connecting. There's power in the network. Oh, you get it. I want to tell you that, of course, this is not something. This is not an assurance, but as the person who has showed myself outside as an accountant, even there are times when sometimes people reach out to me and they're like, "Samuel, do you know anyone whom you think can take on this job?" You get it. And I'm like, I'm looking around, I'm saying, whom can I be able to provide? Sometimes even we share these opportunities on our platform. Some of you who are on our platforms know it. Every day we are sharing some of these opportunities right there. And over time, you're able to connect with people. And yeah, because somebody has either recommended you or done so, there's confidence other party will really have, okay? So make sure that you follow through. I also want you to connect with me. You can connect with me on Facebook. I use Coach Samuel Evander or Samuel Evander. You'll be able to find me. Find me on LinkedIn, okay? I also share a lot of information. You can also follow me on YouTube. I think I've shared my YouTube links on the WhatsApp group in case you just search me randomly, search for Coach Samuel Evander. I usually write about general subjects, about life, about personal finance, about business, about career, okay? And of course, as an accountant, I also keep sharing about CPA. I share about the accounting profession and so on. You know, life is not only about career development, life is about different things, okay? So you not only growing in the area of accounting, but also growing those areas. And also what happens is you don't need to be part of mentorship programs like this to be able to learn from your mentor. Understudy your mentor, understudy them, the work that they are doing, or even away from the mentorship, okay? See the work that they post. If they post articles, read, understand them. Like, yours should be to learn from this person holistically, okay? To be able to at least benefit from the whole arrangement. So I want to thank you so much for this session, for being part, and of course for also subscribing. I would love to know about more about the session, what you've learned and what you think. So it's good to hear from Monica. Monica say, thank you so much for this insightful session. I've learned way too much today. I refer more people who need such therapy. Yes, that will be good. I am actually running this program. I've made it a bit open. I'm running it for, I'm going to have different sections. Since I've done this, I'll do another one. If you've been part of this this mentorship, you can always recommend other people to join in. I also usually hold one-on-one coaching sessions, by the way, especially where you have a given challenge, a current challenge, either in the area of career, personal finance, or business. You can always book for my one-on-one sessions, like maybe an hour session. We go through your situation, you're able to answer questions, we're able to reflect, I'm able to share my experience, I'm able to share what I know, and I'm able to help you. Like I already indicate, everyone needs a mentor, everyone needs a coach, somebody you can talk to, somebody who can see what you can't see, okay? Somebody who can help you get out of something that you're stuck in. So that's the kind of work that I do. Those that are CPA students know that I'm a CPA. tutor. I do teach CPA, so you can also connect with me in that area. I'm also, of course, I do several kind of things basically. And one of the things that I really am proud of is the work that I do of empowerment, okay, and inspiring others, people like you. And I think God has really been also of favor to me, that he has been able to bring certain kind of achievements in my life, so that even when I speak, I'm able to share something that somebody can be able to learn from. So I want to let you go. I want to say thank you so much for being part of this. And I look forward to more interactions with you. For the next 1 month, if you have any challenge, please utilize that chance to reach out in case you have any tailored kind of, maybe your challenge is unique and I've not talked about it here. I'll surely give you some time, okay? I promise. At the end of the day, it's not about the money, by the way. It's not about the 50,000. The program, by me saying this is for 50,000, I believe the value that I've given you is a value that can earn you a job of over 5 million, of over 10 million, and 50,000 is nothing to such an amount of money. And the kind of transformation that you're getting from this is a lifetime transformation that you can be able to benefit in many ways. So it's not about the money. The money is just to facilitate my expenses, being able to hold this on Zoom, being able to give you time, okay? So you have a group and you want to invite me, I usually do it. And I'm able to inspire others ahead of them. So thank you so much. And I wish you all the best in your careers. Let's keep in touch. Let's keep the networks. I love to see your LinkedIn profiles. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. Make sure you send me a link to your LinkedIn so that I can be able to connect, okay? Yeah. So thank you so much. And I wish you all the best.